As members of learning community in this course, we acknowledge our presence in the traditional territories of the Treaty 4 and Treaty 6 peoples on which University of Regina campus is located and operates. We are thankful for the opportunities to live and learn on the ancestral lands of Cree, Ojibwe, Sato, Dakota, Nakota, Lakota peoples, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect and honor the treaties that were made on all territories and acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past. Decolonization, indigenization, and sustainability are our shared responsibilities, and we are committed to move forward in partnership with the Indigenous nations in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration.
For our environmental meme, we chose to reference some pop culture. We selected a scene from Avengers Infinity War where Thanos, the villain of the film, snaps and causes 50% of all life in the universe to disintegrate into dust. This meme could be used in a classroom to engage with students by referencing modern pop culture. The caption reads, "Global warming making the polar ice caps disappear," in reference to Thanos making life across the universe disappear. So what is the issue our meme addresses? Glacial ice covers 10% of land globally, 90% of which is in Antarctica. Glaciers are very important in regulating global temperatures as they reflect excess heat and help to balance these temperatures. The issue of polar ice caps melting is mainly due to human activities. Since the early 1900s, combustion of fossil fuels and the generation of greenhouse gas emissions has raised global temperatures. As quoted in the World Wildlife Fund's article that I gathered information from, when it comes to sea ice, 95% of the oldest and thickest ice in the Arctic is already gone. The process causes glaciers to melt in a cycle. As ice caps melt, albedo decreases, therefore further raising global temperatures.
The first issue is temperature. Currently, the ice caps are covered in snow and ice that reflect heat back into space. They balance out other parts of the world that absorb heat, so when the ice caps begin to melt, the balance between hot and cold is no longer there, and we will see more intense heat waves worldwide. The second issue is wildlife. Polar bears, walruses, Arctic foxes, snowy owls, and reindeer all call Antarctica their home. However, due to the ice caps melting, we will see the extinction of all these Arctic animals. This will also affect people living in Antarctica that rely on these animals as food and other valuable resources. Finally, the third issue is coastal communities. Rise in sea levels can endanger coastal cities and small islands by aggravating coastal flooding and storm surges that can completely destroy their land. They say that if the ice caps melt completely, global sea levels could rise to 20 feet.
Ways to conserve the ice caps is with rapid cuts in emissions, specifically methane alongside carbon dioxide. Simply meeting the zero carbon emissions by 2050 outlined by the Paris Agreement isn't enough in terms of the ice caps, as methane does it just as much, if not more, than carbon dioxide. Large amount of methane get into the atmosphere from the gas and oil industry, especially from venting, including both intentional and unintentional. A low-cost option that saves emissions without costing companies too much would be doing more quality checks as well as safety checks, because that will cut down the amount of emissions that get through faulty machinery. Another way to cut down methane in the atmosphere is through using less natural gases. Different ways that we can do that is by using more renewable energy, obviously, as well as maybe switching to a different type of energy, such as nuclear, as it creates almost no greenhouse gas waste.
Outcomes and indicators. Following the Saskatchewan curriculum for grade 4 and 10 science, we were able to pick outcomes and indicators that can be used to teach the environmental issue that we've chosen. In the grade 4 science curriculum, outcome HC 4.3 assesses the effects of natural and human activities on habitats and communities. It proposes actions to maintain or restore habitats. Indicator C focuses on categorizing human activities by the effects they have or may have on habitats and communities. Indicator F explores how human impact on habitats and communities has been represented through traditional and contemporary music, dance, drama, and visual arts. Indicator H focuses on the creation of dramatic, visual, musical, or other representations to show how personal actions can help conserve, honor, and respect natural and constructed habitats. For grade 10, we chose one indicator from SCI 10 CD3, which focuses on the examination of biodiversity through the analysis of interactions among populations within communities, and two indicators from outcome SCI 10 CD1, which focuses on the assessment of implications of human actions on the local and global climate and the sustainability of ecosystems. Indicator F from SCI 10 CD3 focuses on why it is important to consider economic, social justice, and environmental perspectives when examining sustainability. Indicator I from SCI 10 CD1 focuses on how scientists examine changes to the key indicators of climate change to support the scientific understanding of climate change. And lastly, Indicator L from SCI 10 CD1 focuses on the assessment of current and potential future effects of ongoing changes to Earth's climate systems on the people and environment in Saskatchewan and Canada's Arctic regions. Elementary classroom incorporation. To incorporate these outcomes and indicators into our classrooms, we have the following examples. For Indicator F from HC 4.3, a great way to teach students about the impacts on habitats caused by humans is through visual arts, and animated YouTube videos and songs are a fun way to get the interest of younger students. For Indicator C, cut and paste activities are an easy way to teach younger students the effects that human activities have on the environment through categorization. You could have students cut out a list of human activities and then paste them into columns for positive effects and negative effects. For Indicator H, allowing students to create a poster showcasing everyday actions that promote sustainability is a fun way to have them create artistic representations to show how personal actions can help conserve and respect habitats. Secondary classroom incorporation. For Indicator F from SCI 10 CD3, creating an article for a fake magazine where they discuss sustainability and what everyday actions can lead us to being more sustainable is a fun and different way to incorporate why it is important to consider economic, social justice, and environmental perspectives when examining sustainability. For Indicator I from SCI CD1, a way to incorporate researching how scientists examine changes to the key indicators of climate change is to create a research assignment giving the students creative freedom in the way they present, which can create personal interests for students. Lastly, for Indicator L, to assess the current and future effects of ongoing changes to Earth's climate systems and the people living in Saskatchewan and Canada's Arctic regions, bringing in National Geographic's documentary The Last Ice is a way in which students can learn about the effects from people whose homes are in the Arctic. Giving the students a short written assignment to further display their findings can also provide a deeper understanding.
Our group reflected on three main questions. How has our engagement with this assignment affected our understanding of these issues? What new issues have emerged? And how may these influence our teaching and learning of environmental education? As we discussed, we determined that this assignment heavily reinforced our knowledge of the issue and the ongoing issues of climate change and global warming. Some emerging issues from melting ice caps are sea levels rising, causing damages to coastal life and damages to land and soil. The threat of melting ice caps influences how we will integrate and emphasize the importance of climate issues and how we can teach students about the damages that can and have been caused. By raising awareness, students can become actively engaged with environmental preservation and environmental education. Here you will find our resources with brief explanations of the information we gathered from each site.